how the market is moving, what they perceive, because they stay with communities and they hear the pulse of people. They understand what's going on in the market. So it becomes highly important for us to understand the market from different perspectives throughout Canada. So as always, I will take a brief, quick second to give you a quote. For the last few days, I have been giving quotes on anger because anger is the most troublesome aspect of human attitudes or human behavior, which creates further problems going forward. 1 minute of anger, 60 seconds of happiness lost. And also, it's like an atom bomb. Some people say their anger is only for a few seconds, then it subsides. At the same time, atomic bombs take milliseconds to explode, and the effects are felt for many centuries to come. So one such quote was given by a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu, T-Z-U, T-Z-U. So he was an ancient Chinese philosopher and poet, well known for penning the book Tao Te Ching. He was the founder of philosophy of Taoism, a religious and ethical custom of ancient China. He is largely respected as a religious deity in various traditional Chinese religious schools of thought. So this is what he told us, right on your quote, on your screen. It says, the great fighter is never angry. Isn't that so true? Because anger destroys the person who is angry, not the enemy. This is how it works. So guys, make sure you keep happy and you don't let anyone else drive your brain. It is really important that you hold yourself up against all those triggering issues that can spark an anger in you. And then, the best speech you ever make is when you are angry, and then you repent over that speech for whole of your life. Here we go, and today I have a good panel. Like I said, we have amazing people up here. Welcome, guys. We have Sandra Pike, we have Asif Khan, D. Khan, and we have, sorry, I forgot your name, trying to remember it, Heidi. We have Heidi and we have Ray Yenkana, all from BC. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Mr. Khan, I cannot hear you. You are kind of muted. Can you check your audio? Check.
Check.
Yep, I can hear you. Well, how is your day today, guys?
We're on the other side of the sod, so I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, you are an hour ahead of us, right?
Yes.
11:40, and I understand you have to leave early. You have to leave at 12 o'clock, right? Your time.
No, at another 20 minutes, I have a coaching call.
Another 20 minutes, she has a coaching call. So, well, thank you very much for letting us know. We'll make it quick and fast. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Sandra Pike from the Pike Group at Royal Page Atlantic. I am here out of Halifax, Nova Scotia. Been in real estate since 2010, so it's been quite some time.
2010, and you made very huge strides. You are a name to reckon with in your marketplace. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Well, I started when I was 40, so it was, and I'm not from here, so it was definitely a lot of hustle to get out and to get busy.
Fantastic. I think one day I have to speak with you about the hustle you made to succeed, to reach this point. That would be a great discussion someday soon. Yes, sir, Mr. Khan.
Yes, I'm Asif Khan with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and joking, that was for Ray Yenkana. I'm with Remax Prime Properties, home of Paul Cheema, and I've been in real estate since 2005 and started the brokerage venture about 7 years ago. trying to keep up with Heidi and Ray in that regard, and it's been big shoes to try and catch up to. So enjoying every minute of it, and I still sell as well. So
I like that, enjoying every bit of it. Fantastic, beautiful. I know you can be very harsh if someone speaks against maple leaves. Fear the Khan. There's a common phrase in all industry that I know of. Yes, Heidi.
Yeah, I'm Heidi Kystra. I'm been in real estate. Okay, you guys are making me feel like I'm really an old veteran now. Been in real estate since 1996 and been a broker just coming up to my 10th anniversary actually for my first office. So that's exciting. Lots more wrinkles in the last 10 years, I'm sure. But no, it's been
on
great.
your upcoming 10th anniversary, Heidi.
Thank
What's
you.
your
So
office
I'm
name?
in the, pardon me?
What's your office name?
It's Remax Crosstown, and it's 1 hour north of Toronto in Barrie. And I just opened up in York also. So, yeah, it's been great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And finally, we have our amazing, vibrant, ever working out Ray Yenkana, the guy with muscles.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ray Yenkana from Lower Mainland in British Columbia, Abbotsford. Actually, I live in Abbotsford, but today I'm actually in Penticton. We have a townhouse in Penticton, so we come up here and hang out on our, I work from here as well. But I've been in the business since 1985, and I've always pretty much been in sales most of those years. But I ended up buying a brokerage in 1991, which I sold when I moved to the Lower Mainland and bought a brokerage there. And I bought a small brokerage at 25 agents, Remax Little Oak. And we grew it to 4 locations and 200 agents. And recently I got one of the guys in the office to buy half the company. So I have a 51% younger version of me, just and I all I do now is sell commercial real estate and mentor and help the new agents get going. And sometimes I even help other brokers in different marketplaces get their stuff together and get them going.
I still remember my trip to your office, and you showed me all your offices. I think there were 3 of them at that time, right?
It could have been 3 or 4. We didn't get from one of them.
4. Okay. Well, I really liked the way you set them up. It was fantastic. Very functional layouts and quick in and out. You are very close to people. So yeah, coming back to our vibrant Sandra Pike. Sandra, how is housing demand in your marketplace?
So I think the market maybe just across Canada has seen a slowdown. People are actually finally getting to take holidays, and this is just the norm that we are faced with. And truth be told, I know interest rates and everything is increasing, and days on market have been increasing, but for me, that's normal. We are in a seller's market with a buyer market mentality. I've worked in our market here in Halifax now with anywhere from 6 to 18 months of inventory with no sense of urgency. And, the pandemic for us was the perfect storm. In 2021, we had 2 years of military who would have moved here because they didn't come in 2020. We had a lot of interprovincial moves because our COVID numbers were so low. And then, the office landscape would have changed for a lot of people, and people who were living, away from Nova Scotia just came back home. And now the market since May, we don't have that, those buyers, they're gone. So we're left with, mostly our buyers are from Nova Scotia, and, we'll get some military moves coming here and, other people. But what we're experiencing now, it's normal, really, truth be told. And I'm not too worried about our market here in Halifax.
That's good, but 6 to 8 month inventory, and I heard you saying you have a seller's market with buyer market mentality. That was kind of a very unique phrase I ever heard. Would you like to expand on that?
So when you're in a buyer's market and there is an abundance of inventory, there's no sense of urgency from buyers to go out and purchase homes. They'll just take their time, right? Although we only have about 728 homes here on the market now, where we typically have anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 homes. The buyers still aren't in a hurry. They'll just get to it. And I think that's a big difference from, on the Ontario mindset to Atlantic Canada. We'll just get to it when we're ready. And so again, I think inventory is going to continue to climb here. And but that's like anywhere else in Canada. And will our house prices drop as much as they have in Toronto? No, probably not, because we just caught up with the rest of the country as far as I'm concerned. But if anybody did pay market value during the pandemic, they will have to hold on to their house. I feel maybe anywhere up to 5 years before the rest of the market catches up to what they would pay for it.
Okay, thank you very much for your input, Sandra. Mr. Khan, how is the demand in your marketplace?
Demand remains a little bit lower than what we've seen it before, and there's a few reasons for it. So first of all, what we've had is with all of the changes, anytime there's a change, and specifically with interest rates and such that are affecting the financing areas of the real estate industry, we had the same type of pause when the stress test was introduced. So whenever you have an interest rate increase, you're going to get that 2 to 4 week pause where everyone wants to find out what's going on before they take that next step. And that's what we've been witnessing for the last few months is anytime people start getting comfortable with it, there's another hike. What you're starting to see now is people getting tired of waiting. So you've got some pent-up demand, and at the same time, you've got immigration opening up too. So the demand is going to continue to increase. There has been a window of opportunity for buyers in the GTA, and that window is starting to close up. You're going to get a lot of contradicting reports that say, oh, absolutely not, the bottom isn't here yet. But you can't time the bottom of a market, and especially in the GTA, it's a strange animal in that there's not really anything that can slow down the Toronto housing market. And if you see how Toronto has withheld this latest downturn, you're not seeing those huge price declines in the 416. Where you're seeing them is the 519, the 705, even some of the 905. They're starting to scale back a little bit in terms of average price. But at the same time, that average price is still a lot higher. It's still 5% or so higher than where we were last year. And my prediction as working on the rematch report was we would probably be up about 6 to 8% this year. We started off gangbusters. We were at 25, 30% above average sale price from last year. So we knew there'd be a little bit of a slowdown to get us to a normal type of 6 to 8% increase, and that's a healthy increase. When you have double-digit increases, those aren't healthy. And what we have right now is a healthy market. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is the new normal. And I've been referring to it as the old normal because we're back to where things were before the pandemic. And it was a pretty healthy market at that time. You've got appreciation, although it's less than double digits. That's where we always were. So again, we're back to Sandra says it's more of a normal market.
Thank you very much, Asif. There is some issue with your microphone. Your voice keeps on doing ups and downs, just like a stock market. It's sometimes wavy.
It's the most reliable
Maple
network.
Leaf guy. Well, talking about 905, I see in 905 the detached homes have lost 3.7% versus last year. Semis have come down by 1.1%. Townhomes have gone up by 3.7%. Condo apartments have gone up by 6%. This is because now with reduced amount of mortgage, people are being qualified. So they are opting to go for the lower housing type, such as linked houses, townhomes, condominiums, condo apartments, all that. And in 416 area, detached are down by 1.5% in price. 7.3% down are the semis. Townhomes are up by 0.4%. Condo apartments are up by 2.6% as per the latest report published by Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, but this may not be a complete picture because some data is also available on other MLS systems such as a metric system. So some data is always off the charts. So Heidi,
And
how is the
one thing
demand in your Simcoe area?
Well, we have had a significant price drop for sure. There's no question about that. One of the things I think that people maybe haven't thought of is we had a huge increase when the prices did go up in townhouses. So anything that was a townhouse, some of them went up $300,000, a ridiculous amount. But the need for townhomes were the price point. People don't always think that if you're $1 million or over, you can't put a smaller down payment, right? You can't do a 5% down, because people don't always realize the first 500 is 5%, the second 500 is 10%. And so we had a need for staying under that $1 million mark in our area. So townhouses went up like a rocket ship, and they were all just under that $1 million. But now that the detached homes have come down significantly, people can buy a detached. So all of a sudden the townhomes don't have the same need for them. And some of them have gone down up to $250,000 in the last 3 months, which that's pretty drastic.
So thank you very much. That's the really good insight into your Simcoe market area. Now coming back to our big boss, big brother, Mr. Ray Yenkana, Abbotsford.
Paul, I love it when realtors say the prices have come down. They would actually say that in our marketplace too. They would say that homes that if you could buy a home today for significantly less than you could say 6 months ago, and that's true. However, the average price all across the board is up from over last year. So no matter what you buy today, yes, you're going to buy it a little less than you would have paid in January and February. In some cases, a lot less. However, overall, if you were trying to buy that home a year ago, it would have been much less. The average price is up. And in our marketplace, we have in the whole Fraser Valley. This is in Vancouver, but the whole Fraser Valley, our inventory is up about 50% of what the inventory we had that we were working with throughout the year last year. So we have about 50% increase in inventory. However, that being said, it's a buyer's market, but it's not a runaway buyer's market. Like we probably have a little over 6,000 listings. It's something in the Fraser Valley that we've always done. We know there's a number, it's a magic number called 10,000. If we ever hit 10,000 listings, the market's in trouble. And that's happened in the past. But today, it's kind of like what Asif said. It's really just a normal marketplace. And of course, what happens when the market slows, it requires more skill for agents to exercise in talking to sellers. And of course, most agents don't list property. Most agents run around, they're buyer's agents. Only a few agents know how to bring product into the marketplace. So it's a real stretch on people's skill level when they don't take one person out and sell a home that day like they were last year. I mean, we actually had something that was unbelievable. Last year we had, I think, 3 or 4 months where there were absolutely no expired listings. Can you believe that? No expired listings in the whole month.
Wow.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I go all through the years, whenever the market's really busy and we think everything's selling. No, everything's not selling. I mean, maybe we sold 65% of it or 70%, but maybe on the odd occasion, 80 or 90%, but we never sell everything. But we actually had 3 months last year where the board doesn't show any record of any expired listing. There was nothing. So
basically, 3 to 4 month inventory is very common in your marketplace.
Yeah, so we have about 3 or 4 months worth of inventory.
And 6 to 8 months is very common in Sandra's marketplace. So they're okay with 6 to 8 months of inventory. I think, in Simco or in GTA, we strive to have 2 to 3 months of inventory to be in a balanced market. My boss can tell you better.
He's talking to you,
So
Heidi.
we are expecting the inflation to come further down. It was 8.1 in June. It was 7.6% in July. My
He
guess
hasn't
is
moved
it
north
will be
yet.
close to 7% in August. So with all these things changing, how do you see the house prices sticking up, like going up or going down? What is your projection? Let me go to Sandra first because she has to leave.
Well, typically in our market, we were about 2% increase each year. And, during COVID, we had, 26, 30% more than the home. So so our average house price here is 542,000. And when the interest rates would have come up, the buying power certainly changed for a lot of people. If you wanted to buy a $542,000 home here, you needed to make $131,000. After the rates changed, you needed to make $154,000. Where do I see where we're going to end up? Again, I feel that it is the rest of the market would need to catch up. So to give you an example, and I've been talking about this a lot, there was a little small baby a baby split. It would have listed for $279 and sold for $500. A month later, same type of house on the same street, listed for listed for $289 and sold for $429.
Mm-hmm.
Same street again, same similar house, just sold in July for $331,000.
Wow.
So the market that we had here, what we're experiencing now is what we had again back in 2012 when it was a huge bump in the market where we were ship start here. And anybody who purchased that year in 2012, they had to wait 3 to 5 months in order to break even. So it took the market 5 years essentially to catch up with the market that we would have had in 2012. So, is that going to be the same for every area in Halifax? I wouldn't say not every area, but certainly maybe the more rural areas of Halifax, probably up to 30 minutes. I think, they're definitely going to have to wait a little bit longer before they go to sell.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sandra, for your input. We wish you had more time with us, but I guess you must be leaving by now, or you still have some time
Yes.
left?
No, my darling, I got to get going. But thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Well, we'd love to have you back
Yes.
one day when you have complete free time till 11:30 our time,
Absolutely.
EST.
Take care.
Nice meeting you, Mr. Pike.
Yes.
Yep.
Take care.
Bye. So, with Sandra gone, we are 3 amazing people left. Here we are. Now we can have a lot of fun with it. This breaking news that I try to share up here is Bank of Canada to hike another 75 basis points next week and will then call it a day, leaving the overnight target rate at 3.25% for the duration of 23. This is a prediction by CIBC economists Benjamin Tall and Karen Charbonneau. I am sure I pronounced his name right. Why people have so complicated names?
Charbonneau. And that's coming from a Punjabi guy who some days I look at the name and go, what?
Yeah, it should be Punjabi guy. They should mask the real name and make it simple for it. Maybe Karen Char could have been way better. So I'm pretty confident when that happens, affordability will start increasing because house prices are still going to go down. This is what many lenders predict, major banks predict. TD is forecasting that the house prices will recalibrate, very nice word actually, recalibrate by 20 to 25% from now to the first quarter of 2023. And then there are other banks. RBC thinks it will be 12% decline. There is something called Oxford Economics. I am hearing the name for the first time. Oxford Economics, they think it will go down by 24%. Bank of Montreal thinks it will go down by 20%. Desjardins has always been thinking it will be 20 to 25% down. So don't you think when the prices go down, interest rates kind of start holding up, people will have better affordability, and then house prices will be going up again? Asif?
I disagree with those economists. I think the prices will increase about 6 to 8%. It's easy to sit in the basement and throw these numbers out for the sake of putting.
You mean Benjamin Tal was sitting in the basement?
Well, Benjamin Tal is probably one of the smartest economists, but if your house price falls 20%, you're not just going to sell it for the sake of selling it, right? Mm-hmm. If you're doing a lateral move where you're buying and selling in the same market, it's always going to be the same, whether it's a slower market or a busier market. But the people that absolutely have to sell, a 0.75% increase is not going to force them to sell. Right? If they have investment properties, they have means to be able to refinance, be able to afford those. Rents are going up, so a lot of these investors are getting more rent for their properties now. So I can't see how anyone would be able to say the prices are going to drop 20 to 25%. I've heard 40%. Twitter is just crazy with people like that going on and talking about how prices are going to fall. But show me. If you look at the numbers right now, if you look at where we were at the end of December, I think I posted the numbers just in our chat, but the average price was $1,095,000.
Desjardins has been consistently talking about this, like RBC was also thinking on the same line that the price will go down. I don't know how they base their numbers, because all these economists derive data based off so many assumptions, and every economist may have a different set of assumptions to arrive at a conclusions. So like they say, there is a statistic, there is very nice dialogue about statistics, right? I will find out. There are statistics.
And numbers can be spun any way you want. Yeah, you can spin statistics any way you want. And what I always say to people, there's a lot of numbers available, and then there's the informed decision. And having someone that works in the field, that's your bridge to get from all of these numbers to the informed decision. Because we're in there, we're in the trenches, we're working, we're seeing these prices. I don't have one person. I put out a message on Facebook to say, can someone that's lost 40% of their home value in the last year please contact me? Like if you've sold it. We started a guarantee program. I did it in 2008 too, but I said to give buyers more confidence, if you believe that your home price is going to drop 20, 30, 40% in the next year and you have to sell, I'll sell it for free.
Yeah.
And that's how much I believe that no one is going to sell if their house price drops. They're going to wait until it goes back up. It's not a fire sale. There's not a lot of catalyst to make people do that. It's not a short sale situation like in the US in 2008. So there's so much that goes in to some of these buying and selling decisions. And just an economist talking about numbers is not going to do it. And where are they getting these numbers? Because at the end of 2021, we were just shy of $1.1 million for the average price across the GTA. If you look at year to date right now, the average price across the GTA is $1.224 million.
Yes,
so
I'm looking at the report right now. This is what it says. There are two different segments like 416, 905. They both have different numbers for the houses. Like if you look at the composite for details in 416 and 905, it is $1.379 million. In detached for 416, we are looking at 1.65, close to 1.65. Semis are going for 1.127 in 416, in 91 905 it is $942,000. So, well, I do my research and I was looking at my data for day before. 7 days sales to new listing ratios were about 69%. Just 7 days. I'm not talking the whole month. I'm just considering how many listings came into market during 7 days. And you know the notice pages, what I'm talking about. So if you look at sold and new listing, it tells you exactly how many sales, how many
Yeah.
listings. So I usually look at that data to talk to people when I'm speaking with them, that this is how the market is moving. But I think this will, so you don't believe the data that these banks are saying the market will go down by 20 to 24% by
No.
the first quarter of 2023.
Paul, it all, the thing is about real estate all across Canada, and probably the same in the States, is the public's got to stop relying, and it's our fault, but they've got to stop relying on the media giving them market updates. They're not in the business. Banks, they're not really in the business. They're kind of like one part of the business, and so they don't have the whole picture of what's going on. So, but one of the things I like about your show is that this is like an attempt for real estate people to get out there and tell people exactly the way it is on the ground. And I think the realtors should be doing this all the time in their own marketplaces. I encourage my guys to just do regular video updates on what's going on and let people know. Let them know, what's happening on. We have a medium today. This is incredible that you can have a show like this, broadcast it all across Canada, record it all across the world. I think we should take full advantage because the media, they are not the source of real estate information. Come on.
They are not the source of media information. Very right statement, Ray. I totally agree with that. I see many realtors on TikTok when such news comes online or on online media or offline media. They have this as a background, then they start talking. The market is going to go down X%. Please buy now. Please buy later. Please wait. Please. So many things are going on. Just that nobody reads the whole article. A few days back, there was a news item. The title was Bank of Canada will stop rate hike increase cycle in September meeting, and nobody read the whole news. Down there it says, if we are correct, if our assumption is okay, this may happen. So talking will in the headline, talking may in the 4th, 6th, 10th paragraph, people just don't go there. And secondly, you have to pay to read that article. Who pays? They just pick the article and say boom, boom, boom. Everybody is a reporter. Just hold your camera and say, hey guys, look behind me. This is what came on market. And that news is so misleading. So we are helping media go viral. When you say that media shouldn't be trusted, I go with you, Ray. I agree what you're saying. Media is just to sensationalize the news. It's not meant to tell the right information to people. They probably got 100,000 new subscribers. $9 for 6 months. So Heidi, what's your opinion?
If you think about it, I know most of us have been in the industry quite a while now, and when has it been accurate? When has it even been close to accurate? It hasn't. So I think that we have to just look at it honestly. Just when I was doing sales, my husband used to laugh because the news would come out with something really terrible, like 23%, drop in value. And my husband would wake me up and he'd say, you saw the news, didn't you? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you're excited, aren't you? And I'd be like, yeah. And the reason I would get excited is because people would fall for it. And to me, their mindset changes. They get lazy. They stop focusing on what they need to focus on as realtors and working hard and doing everything they're supposed to be doing. And when they do that, there's way more business for the rest of us. And honestly, as far as the public goes, I think that I read that article too, and I had a meeting about it with my brokerage, and I just said, look guys, it's never been accurate. We know in our area, north of the GTA, which we're kind of in the same field as the GTA, immigration is going crazy. Same with BC. Immigration is going crazy. There's going to be so many people coming into our country. There's a backlog of people waiting to get in.
I was actually
They
going
need
to talk
houses.
about that. That would be my next topic.
They need houses.
Yeah.
We are the, I know for our area, Barrie in 2021, we were the third highest rent in Canada. Burnaby in Victoria, and then it was Barrie, Ontario, hour north of Toronto. Like, there is so much out there still to happen. I think that we might go down a little bit, a couple percent still, but our big drop has happened. And then we'll start going up slowly again, 4 to 6% in our area. But the big drop has already happened. The only people that I would say really need to think are people doing flips. If people are doing a flip right now, they need to buy a flip with the intention on waiting out the market until they can get the best opportunity. But our rents are so high, they have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Some of my
Barrie
thoughts.
specifically, so much inundated with students, and every property there has so many students living in them. I've been there. I have tried to show it to one of my own family members. It was all full with students. And yeah, so anyways, immigration is a great boon for Canada or worldwide. I was reading this news. I think Australia is increasing share of immigrants from, I think they are going to go higher now, somewhere close to $195,000. I was reading, watching this news on CP24 this morning. So Canada is also focusing on more immigrants. I think by 2030, the 100% working class would only be immigrants, because people in Canada stopped producing children. They are marrying very late. Marriage age has gone far and housing sizes has shrunk. So two factors are at play here. One is house size is diminishing from 6 members way back in 1970s to 1 member now. So they need more houses, whether for renting or whether for purchasing. At the same time, 550,000 plus immigrants being shipped to Canada by 2023. I think these two will keep exerting upward pressure on the demand. Right, Asif, what do you think?
I agree. I think, just because the interest rates started going up, we had so much demand heading into this. We had less than 1 month of supply in the GTA. And that demand just didn't, as the interest rate went up, they just didn't say, okay, we don't want to live in the house anymore. They're just waiting. It's pent up demand. And once they start coming off the fence, once they realize that, the best thing that can happen is after this next announcement, when they announce that it's going to be 0.75 or 1%, I think everyone's leaning towards 0.75. They're going to say, okay, we're done. And as soon as they say they're done, the floodgates are going to open. And we're going to have a really busy fall in terms of real estate. And that's going to continue into the winter months. So I think instead of waiting for March or April, people are going to jump the gun and get in there for January, February. So I think from October on, the floodgates are going to open. And that little window that buyers have to get a good deal right now is closing really fast. And
we really have a very little window. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
And people are going to look back at us and say, oh, they're realtors and they're just saying that. But we've seen this before. So what you're hearing from us is experience talking. And you've got a lot of realtors that got licensed in the last 3-4 years that have absolutely no clue about what's happening. And they're the ones going out. And
what is negotiation for them?
They don't know.
I just heard a stat. I just heard this stat. I was in
why do I sign back?
Nashville.
I don't understand. Why should I sign back? Why the agent send me the form back? I don't need to do anything about it. Yeah, Heidi, sorry I cut you off.
No, that's okay. I just heard this stat. It was in the US, but it's very similar in Canada. It said 90% of real estate agents have never been in a real estate market where average days on market were over 41 days. 91%.
Yeah. And Ray, did you ever check, do you have any data which says how many home buyers were new immigrants or less than 2 years?
So, Paul, I'll make a comment before I get to that. The comment is that I think this is probably, it's true in our area for sure. I'm not sure if it's 100% true in your area. I suspect it is. And that is, Canadians are like, they're like a big herd of people, right? And so what they do is the majority of them are buying real estate when the price is high, because their buddies are. And then of course, when the price is low, a little bit of, I put a little bit of blame on us, because, I would say by and large as an industry, our people sit back. They're not proactive, and they're not out there educating people and let them know this is an unbelievable deal. Like if you compare it, like I had a deal the other day that was closing. It was a home. I don't normally sell homes, but the land was the development land. We were selling this home, and it was going to be turned into 5 homes. The land, and the seller was giving me a little bit of grief. And this was in July, and I said to the seller, I said, stop with the nonsense. Do you realize the buyer was asking for a $5,000 holdback to make sure the property was clean? And they were like, should we do this, Ray? I said, you're damn right, you better do it. I said, for $5,000, I said, I don't care if you lose the $5,000, and you should be thinking the same thing, because if we put this back on the market today, I'm not going to sell it for what I sold it for. I listed it at $2.9 million, sold it for $3.55 in February. I would not crack $3 million today.
Absolutely right. Well, I agree.
Do not give me the gears. I know what I'm talking about. So, just so you know, I think the realtors are not being proactive. Our people need to be way more proactive and let the public know, especially using video, what's going on, and take this, take them away from listening to the media. Like you say, we have a window of time.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be a better time in the future. Like Asif said, the market's going to pick up in October, all through the spring of next year. People are going to be moving to the area. So to answer your question about moving, we didn't have in our area, likely in your area as well, for the last 2 years, the amount of immigrants that came to Canada it was reduced. I don't know who releases all these numbers, but there's no way that we were getting the plane loads of people from about April or May of 2020 till the end of 2021. The amount of people moving into our area from out of country was significantly reduced. Mm-hmm. Is that fair to say in your area? I'm telling you, that's the way it was in our area. It was way less
here in 2021 and 2020/2021 from Ontario, you were able to attract more than 21,000 families from Ontario. Ray, where did they all go?
Okay.
You stole our people. I don't know how. What trick you pulled?
True, Paul.
They
What's
just
true
went
is,
to go see you.
No. Here's what's true. What's true is we lost a lot of new Canadians. We lost a lot of new Canadians, but we gained people from Ontario, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and probably one of the biggest influxes of people from Ontario ever. Like normally we get people from Alberta and Saskatchewan, Manitoba, but the amount of people that came from Ontario was crazy. So thank God for that. Thank God you guys can send them over here. Keep doing it, by the way. Keep doing it.
About 17,000 people went to Alberta from Ontario, and equal number went to Quebec the same time. Alberta.
Well, I have a stat for you that Asif should turn his speakers off because he might not want to hear this. But I've been talking to these people that come from Ontario, and I said, like, why would you guys move? And they said, well, Ray, we can't cheer for the Canadians in Ontario because we pretty much take our life in our hands. But if we move to British Columbia, we can become Habs fans, and nobody will care. So I think the fact that the Leafs perform the way they do is a great benefit to us in the West. We really appreciate that, Asif. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, so there we are. And what advice do you think? What advice would all of you like to give to the home buyers and home sellers at this point in time?
I'd like to advise both of those Habs fans that moved to BC that they may want to reconsider. Losing 2 out of 10 fans in Canada is devastating to any hockey franchise. But as for sellers, I think it's stay with the program. I mean, you have to price your house properly, and you're going to get that advice from
Very
a
right.
good realtor that's been around. The other thing is when you have your neighbors selling in 2021 and receiving multiple offers and getting $200,000 over, that's an emotional decision that somebody made. That's not the new market value.
I was
And
going to say
knowing
that the $200,000 over was not on top of market value. It was on top of what they listed for.
Yeah, and it was, and not only that, it was an emotional decision. Someone really wanted that house. They were tired of losing out on houses. You don't have those emotional decisions anymore. Now, if you list your house at market value, you're pretty much going to get market value. We're still seeing multiple offers. We're still seeing bidding wars on certain properties, and it just shows the importance of hiring a professional that's going to showcase your home property, market it properly, stage it. And that's back. This is stuff that we used to do in a normal market, and all of these things are back. You can't just stick a for sale sign on a home and sell it, or hope that somebody else sells it. You're not getting a lot of these cheap discount places getting business. I mean, you look at some of the stock or some of these brokerages that has fallen because they rely on protection. They rely on agents going out and selling to boost up their stock value and things like that. And the reason it's falling is their agents aren't selling right now. And the professionals that have been in it full time and are working are the ones getting the business because they're the ones that know how to operate in this market. And for buyers, same thing on the other side. Make sure you choose a professional that's going to know how to represent you and protect you properly. You can't just go in with no conditions. You can't go in with crazy offers. There's so many of these newer agents calling to try and lowball, and they're $200,000-$300,000 under asking right now because they don't know what a normal market is or how to behave in a normal market. And it's sad that our industry lets in anyone with a heartbeat. I think brokers have to be a little more cognizant of who they're bringing on, and be selective. Bring on the professionals. Don't just bring on a part-timer that sold a house in 2021 because they're not going to do that now.
Yeah, well, so I totally agree with what you're saying, and to add to Ray's scenario that he was talking about $5,000 adjustment. We are working on a transaction in Kitchener, Asif. I think you know that about that. It has not been yet communicated to the office. The buyer fell short of $400,000, not $200,000. He doesn't have it. We're trying to help. The lender doesn't want to go higher than the appraised value, but somehow he could force him to just omit that and go higher for his mortgage. It's a private mortgage, completely private mortgage. And I spoke with the sellers. I said, in order to help them, we have to make some adjustments. That required a very, big discussion. I'm trying to, compose my thoughts. We have to engage in a very good discussion with the sellers many times over the past 1 week. And finally, the sellers agreed to give a break of 75 grand on the sold price, which is great. I haven't told it to the buyer yet. I don't represent the buyer. But I just told him that I can get you a VTB because I don't want my sellers to lose even $75,000. I said, I will get you a VTB of that amount and you can pay off anytime. At least there is 1% hope of getting that money back. Maybe in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whenever, it is kind of fixed deposit. So he can say one day, okay, here is the money I owe the sellers. I say, but sellers don't know this. I haven't told them this, that for them, they gave a discount. But for this guy, I'm going to send a VTB. I don't want my guys to lose even 1 cent on the transaction. I will carry on that way. Hopefully it works. But now he's again short of $80,000. Let's see how we close that deal. So Heidi, what do you think? What's your advice to the sellers and buyers? Is Heidi still here?
I think, like Asif, they need to make
Your net connection seems to be choppy.
based on having a realtor. I'm here.
Yeah, your net connection seems to be,
Is it
I
cut
think,
out?
choppy, losing some bandwidth, I guess.
You there?
Yep, we are here. I see Asif Khan, I see Ray Yenkana, I see you, but you're kind of frozen. Hello, Heidi. So maybe Heidi has a bad
Rogers.
connection.
Roger.
Yeah, so I will just share how the markets have responded from July to August 31st. Mississauga went up by 1.32% as if. East Gwillimbury went up by 7.95% on average home prices. Markham went up by 4.18%. Whitchurch Stouffville went 9.10%, Ajax 1.64 up. 4.38 was Brock. Clarington went up by 6.64%, Oshawa went up by 4.48%, Uxbridge went up by 20.03%, East Luther Grand Valley went up by 8.93%, Mono in Dufferin went up by 3.31%. So all these are great indicators of market activity. There is a vibrance going in. Yeah, so Heidi is back. Hey Heidi, we wanted to hear about your advice to the home buyers and home sellers. We have 1 minute to wrap up.
Okay, so home buyers, I think that you have an opportunity that is closing very quickly right now. It's especially if you're a first-time home buyer, I think you should jump and get something. I really think it's a great time right now. I know investors, a lot of my investors are jumping on the bandwagon right now because it's not going to last. And as far as sellers go, listen to your realtor and hire someone who knows the market. Don't be chasing price reductions. Make a good informed decision right from the start on your price.
Very right. Very right. May I ask all of you amazing people, if you ever get a chance, go on my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and share, so I can add more features to my service quality on YouTube. We'll keep improving on my broadcast. I thank you once again from core of my heart for your participation, your time. It is invaluable. I know all of you are extremely busy. It is very early morning for Ray Yenkana. And yeah, but Asif had a moral responsibility to support me, so I won't thank him for that. He doesn't care though. He'll only make.
He said if I don't come, I have to give him a discount on fees. And I said, I'll show up.
I read your post. Many brokerages are coming back from after their dreams were broken. They are coming back to Remax 4. That's great news. I won't take any company brand's name here, but many people are finding love and care back in Remax 4. So that's one thing. I never believed in profit sharing setups. I never was a part of that mindset, because our job is to sell and help our clients, not keep recruiting other realtors into, so we can look at like pests on their income. How much they make, then we need a share of that. How much they make, we need a share of that. There's a long discussion, and I think Asif and me will be talking about that very vigorously one day. But hey guys, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for, if you have anything to say, please do so.
That's great. Thanks for having us, and great to see you, Heidi and Ray, and we'll chat soon.
Well, feel free to come back whenever you have something
Thank you.
great to share. I would really appreciate your participation. This is like a platform I just designed to disseminate information, and I'm getting addicted to it. I'm trying to improve it every passing day. So hopefully we will have a big IPTV station someday soon. PC24 RETV. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate your time. Take care. Enjoy your day. God be with you. So this was our panel discussion with the top performers in real estate industry, and you heard their views and opinions. Before we end the show, I would like to express my sincerest condolences with the families of those who lost their beloved one today. It happens. Life is not permanent on this planet, and one day everyone has to leave. But it is very hard to imagine living without your beloved ones. May God give you strength to overcome this grief and the vacuum in your life. And happy. Keep your loved ones happy, because life may not be again here for you. So it may be once in a while chance. So please make the best use of it. Keep happy, keep your community happy, and keep your nation happy. Thank you very much for being with us. You will see me tomorrow at the same time, 10:30 to 11:30. We are off on Sundays, but you may watch the recorded episodes of the week on Sunday. Thank you very much.